Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to do a gin and tonic time on a Friday at 5 o'clock just to celebrate the end of the week. Even though I've had not a very hard week, I have still had a week. So the idea behind the gin and tonic time is just a moment to sit and reflect on the week I've just had, check in with where I am and what I'm doing. So let everyone else know what I've been up to. I don't get it all on social media. I do try, but there's a lot going on as always, and sometimes the Starlink doesn't work, so you don't get the minute by minute plays of what we're doing. So it's just a time to sit and chat with you guys, tell you what I've been up to and the plans for the coming week. So on the reflection side, this time last week we were preparing for the Ranger Run, which was going to happen on Saturday morning. I'd just driven up from Pretoria up to Lion and Elephant Motel, and then from Lion and Elephant Motel to the Savi Valley Conservancy. Saturday morning, got up nice and early, about an hour's drive in an open cab all the way down to the Hammond Park or farm or ranch where the actual run took place. I nearly got peer pressured into the 21k, but luckily clear heads prevailed, and having sat for 15 hours driving, I thought that would be catastrophe on my end had I tried to do that. So kept to the 10k run. I did it, I think, in 55 minutes, which I was pretty chuffed with. Great little run. I will put a YouTube video of the run. I'll speed it up so you don't have to sit and watch me huff and puff for 55 minutes, but I will let you know when that's up on my social medias. And then after that, we did a couple game views in Mokoro Ranch, or on Mokoro Ranch. Unfortunately, we did not see the rhino, which we've been desperate to see. But yeah, sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. But we saw a lot of other game, kudu, sable. Sorry, we didn't see sable. We saw kudu, impala, eland, waterbuck, buffalo, wildebeest, the biggest baobab in Zimbabwe. And then we had a great day sitting in the river the one day. I think you guys all saw the post. Chilling in the river and having some beers and talking and catching up with mates. So that was pretty special. Then everyone headed home on Monday morning. Brian and I rejigged the truck, loaded her up. We are dubbing her the animal because she has been incredible this week. She has not got stuck, touch wood, once yet, which has been pretty cool. The tires just grab and run with everything, so it's been pretty cool to drive her around. But yeah, so we drove up to the Gonareshoz. We entered, I do have a map because I can't remember all off the top of my head. We came in Bravo 4 gate, and we drove down to Chipinda Pools. Again, all the camps, a lot of the camps that we've stayed in have been transitional. Chipinda Pools was the only different one where they actually had a brick and mortar ablution block, so showers, running water, hot water and stuff. All the other ones that we've stayed in have been bush camps, which means pretty much you get a fire pit and you get a long drop, which is over there. So yeah, very rough camping, but the river has given us showers and everything like that, so we shower once a day in the river, or bath in the river. We do have one person looking out, making sure there's no crocs coming, and the other one showering, bathing. So from Chipinda Pools, we kind of only did north of the park, just because of our timings and stuff. So from Chipinda Pools, we went from there to Fissions, and that's where we had probably the best game viewing. We did see all the cliffs, so I hope you saw all the photos of the cliffs, but that was the bottom of the cliffs, and then we went and spent the night at Fissions, and that's where we saw pretty much everything, and we had our little close encounter with our local Ellies. Big shout out to Sanhima for the lights. They did keep us safe, but apparently they are not elephant retardant, so the Ellies did come fairly close to us, and we spent about 30 minutes waiting for them to finish up what they're doing and then kind of move on. So unfortunately, that's part and parcel of being in the bush. You have to sit and wait. You have to be patient, which is a metaphor for life. You have to be patient, and some things you can't rush, and some things are bigger than you, so you don't want to rush them. But then we saw lion, we saw the painted wild dogs. I'm really hoping that my photography skills turned out on the big camera, and I'll hopefully upload those early next week, all the photos from this. Saw a lion, saw elephant, giraffe. The next morning when we were packing up camp, we had 2 lions walk through, I would say probably 15 to 20 feet away, so fairly close to the camp. So Brian and I quickly looked at each other and pretty much proceeded to jump on the top of the truck. No, but yeah, it's very special, but it is very wild. So it's been awesome having Brian here. He has done a lot of camping in some very wild areas, so it's been awesome to sit and chat with him and pick his brain about what the do's and don'ts are, especially with the trip I'm going on. And it's also been awesome to connect with him. It's been a long time since him and I have sat and had a chat and a couple of beers or a couple of brandies, and just talked about life. Talked about the old man, talked about where we are currently in our lives, where we're going, what the plan is, if there is a plan. So it's been very special, kind of connecting back with him. Cheers. So from Fissions we went to Chilocho Cliffs. So we stayed at the bottom of the cliffs, as we saw, and then yesterday we drove right up to the top, which gave us those great views of the valley, of the cliffs. It was just spectacular. Then we stayed at Bopomela, which was again on the river, pretty much the high side. So we call it high side or low side. The high side is when there's a cliff, so it's the end of the bend, the meander. So it's normally a sheer cliff and then the water. Chilocho camp was at the bottom, so it was flat all the way out, and that's where we had to walk all the way to the river, which was quite far away. Lots of river crossings, so they call them causeways here. So driving over the causeways, some of them are open, some of them are closed, some of them we have to go around, some of them we have to go slow. You always walk them, make sure they're safe and stuff to go over, and then you crack on. And we normally stop for a bath or something like that, so get cleaned up and get ready for the next day. And then this evening, so from Bopomela, we came up again. We drove a whole heap of places, visiting all these different pans, and then tonight we are staying at Mutambagowiza. I know I butchered that, and I apologize to all those Shona speakers. We're going to spend the night here, and then early tomorrow morning we're going to head over to Chitove Causeway, cross that, and then we go out north of the park. And yeah, we've done very little of the park. We've pretty much just done the north side, and if you can see here, I'm going to open this all up. So we've only done this little part of the park here in the last 5-6 days, and there still is all that down here and all the way down to the south here. So it's a huge park. You can't do it in 5 days, but we thought we'd try and give it a shot and see what we could do in the time we had. So very excited. It was a great little test run for the animal. There are a couple of kinks to work out. We did run one of the lithium batteries dead yesterday, but managed to charge it up with just running idle. It does have a smart sensor, which means it'll cut everything else off except the main battery. So we still had the primary battery, but the secondary one did shut off, which means all our lights, our Starlink goes dead, and the fridges go dead. So we will have to look at that and work on that. I do think it was because the Starlink did not have a clear view of the sky, which means it's constantly trying to fight and find signal. But yeah, we're learning. There is also a lot of stuff that we will probably be chucking out. I went overboard, I think, with the purchasing, but this week's given us an opportunity to see what works, what doesn't work, what we can get rid of, what we can't. I'll also do a lot of product reviews. We've got quite a few little gadgets and snippets that we used, and yeah, we can have a look at those and see what's working, what's not working. And yeah, so after all of that, we head back up the road tomorrow. So head up to Harare. I've got a mate's 50th tomorrow night, which I'm going to try and get to. It might be a bit of a push, but we'll see how we go. And then on Monday and Tuesday, I've got some vehicle work, so sending it in for its 500k service. We're also looking at the suspension, making sure we have the right suspension grades, I would say, through Auto World. So check both of those, do a wheel alignment, adjust the spacers, or the sway bar, I believe it's called, on the front, because it is rubbing when you turn the tires. It's rubbing on the wheel well, so we just need to push those tires forward, realign them, and hopefully that will cut that out. And then we are going to put some tints on the window, some dark tints on the back windows, just so people can't see in, and then some medium ones on the front two windows, nothing on the front. Just to try and give us a little bit of privacy, also hopefully reduce the amount of heat that's coming in when it's parked up. The solar power has been working, but it has not been sunny for the last 2 days. Surprise, surprise in Africa. So we have not used the solar. We did a couple times, and it does work very well. So again, I'll do a full review on all of those products eventually once I'm on the road. So my plan for next week is get the service done Monday, Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'm going out to a friend's farm. I haven't seen him. He's a family friend that I've known since I can remember. So catch up with him. And then I'm going out to my cousin's for 2 days. And then from there, we're going to go the back route from Macheki to the Gonareshoz, which is going to take us down kind of northeast of the country, in the back roads, and then kind of down into that. We've got Gonareshoz, we've got the Nyanga National Park that we're going to cruise around, hopefully going to go to Far and Wide, do the Sky Bridge, do a couple more odds and ends in around that area. I will let you know when I figured it out. And then around about the 9th of September, I'm going to catch up with my mum and John, her husband, at the Matari border post, and then we're going to head to Mozambique. So Mozambique is on the east side of Zimbabwe, and we're going all the way back, pretty much down to where we are, pretty much in line with where we are now. If you look straight east from where we are, is in Asura. They've got a lodge there. Going to drive down with them, make sure they get down safe, spend a couple days with them, and then I'm going to start the great venture north, which will be from there, go up to Beira, catch up with a couple of mates there, and then into Gonareshoz. I'm probably going to spend a week or two in Gonareshoz. I've heard it's a fantastic place, and I've seen the documentary on it, and it's one of those bucket list items that I want to go and do. From there, head kind of northwest, avoid North Mozambique just because of the troubles that are going on there. From there, through Tet, and then up into South Malawi on the west side of Lake Malawi. Head all the way up there and then cut across the top of Malawi into Tanzania. So if you know of any places in Tanzania that I have to go, I'm looking at the north on the East Coast to start off with, and then once I come down the other side, then I'm going to look to do more of the inland stuff in Tanzania. So if you've got anything on the east coast of Tanzania that I have to do, or on the west side of Lake Malawi, let me know, and I will try and figure it out and set up a plan and go from there. But that is all I have for you guys tonight. So happy Friday, happy gin and tonic time, and have a great week and great weekend. Cheers, guys.